Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Gary. Usually I like to record about makeup and things of that sort, sometimes video games, just depending on my mood. Today is a little bit more serious of a topic. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Orbiting Live. Subscribe to my channel if you would like. I'd love to have more subscribers and I love to talk to you guys on Twitter, things like that. As you could tell, not that eye, this eye over here, things have been happening with me. And if you've been following me on Instagram and Twitter, I post a few updates. I am warning you, I will be posting some pictures in this video that may make little people, no, not little people, that's not what I meant at all, may make some people uneasy. So if, I'm sorry if this offends you or whatnot, but I will be discussing stress, anxiety, seizures, things of that sort, and things that can happen when those things do happen. So, and I will be posting some pictures. I will not be posting blood pictures other than stuff like this. So, I do have them, but I just don't feel that's appropriate. Just so you're forewarned, probably an 18 plus video, just so you know. So, I kind of wanted to come on here before I posted any more videos about just the stuff I normally post about, because I feel like it's important to talk about subjects that go on in our lives, because sometimes you don't realize that other people go through certain things and you only see a small fraction of people's lives on the internet. And I've been going through a lot of stuff lately, and it's been going on since pretty much after my surgery last year. And if you don't know about my surgery, I have videos and stuff about that further back as before COVID. It was probably about this time last year. It's just gallbladder and appendix, stuff like that. But while I was on overnight, stuff was working on overnights and stuff like that, my anxiety and my blood pressure got really, really high, and just things really changed for me. And my blood pressure got really high, and my anxiety really skyrocketed, and I came to days finally. And my anxiety just, I got on anxiety medication, got on blood pressure medication, and things were getting a little bit better, but I still have blood pressure issues and anxiety issues. And then I got moved to a different area of the store, which is probably the most stressful at this point because of the pandemic that's going on and all the people that call in. And it's an area that needs a lot of attention. There's a lot of stress in that area right now. I'm trying to get it back in place. So work has been a big stressor in my life. I'm one of these people that worry about a lot of stuff, and it's really hard for me to let things go. I care a lot about things, and it just has really affected me. I'd hurt my hip somehow for a week or so, and it was getting really hard for me to walk. I had to leave work because I was almost in tears walking so bad. And I had to go to the chiropractor about 6 times to even get it corrected. But on my 2 days off, it was the week before my vacation. On my 2 days off, I had went to the chiropractor that morning, and I went to go get food. I went to McDonald's and got something to eat, and then I went to Walgreens and picked up a few things, and then I went back home, and then I ate something. This is early in the morning, probably about 9 or 10, and I watched a few YouTube videos, and then I decided I was going to lay down and take a nap. So it's probably by that time, it's probably about 1:30. And then, so this is on a Wednesday. So then the next thing I remember is I get up and I don't remember necessarily going to the bathroom or leaving the bathroom, but I remember that I was just thinking, and I was thinking this before took my nap too. I laid down on the couch to take my nap, that I need to do my schedules for work. So I was like, okay, well, I just go to my computer, which is in my kitchen. On my table, I have another laptop in there, and that's where I do some of my work and stuff. So I go in there, and I started doing my schedules. I was in there maybe, I didn't really look at the time. I was maybe in there 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I felt something trickle down the side of my face, and I thought it was sweat or whatever, and I went like that, and it was blood. I was just like, what the hell? And I go in the bathroom, and I had this huge gash right here on the side, right above my eyebrow. And you can't even see it now, but you can kind of see it where that red mark is. But they stitched it up well enough that it's going to be pretty hard to see. So, no idea what happened. I took a picture of it. I don't know if I'll post that one because it's pretty gruesome. I didn't have any blood on my face. I was like, no idea what happened. I took a picture of it and I sent it to one of my bosses, and I sent it to my brother. And I told my brother, I said, I think I need to go to the emergency room. And he's like, dude, what'd you do? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. And my boss is like, you must have sleptwalked or something. And I said, I don't know. So I couldn't figure out what happened. I couldn't find anywhere in the house that this happened, nothing. And so my brother came over, kind of looked around the house. And so at this point, it's like 3:34. Now my brother lives about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from me, so it took him a little bit to get here. So I went to urgent care, and they looked at it, and they said, that is far too deep. You have to go to the emergency room. So went to the emergency room. Bless my little brother's heart. He stayed with me the whole time. And of course, he stayed out in the car because with everything going on, it's hard to get extra people to go in places with you. So by the time I got home, it was 10 p.m. And they did 2 CT scans on me. And I wound up getting 8 or 9 stitches right here. And I'll post a picture of that. So I come home, and my brother walked around the house with me and couldn't figure out where it happened. Looked around the couch, looked by my TV stand, by where my PlayStation VR headset's at. We looked in my bedroom. We looked in both bathrooms. We looked in the, in the garage. We looked over by everywhere. We looked everywhere. And so I hollered at Google to turn on the lights. And it didn't respond. And I have the one with the little screen, and I thought that was weird. And I looked at it, and I noticed it was black, and I said, well, that's weird, because usually it's on. And all the other lights were on, and I was just like, huh. So I kind of glance over there, and I see the plug hanging out of it. I was like, oh, okay. So I walk over to where my computer was. So there's a wall, and my table is right next to the wall, and then the chair's here. So the chair, the laptop table, and then the wall, and there's a window. So I was sitting here by the wall and window and the laptop, and the Google is sitting on the table as well, and the plug goes down here by that. I had moved the chair out to plug it back in, and where this wall is and the window was, there's blood on the wall and all over the floor. What was weird, which I forgot to tell you, before I left to go, when I went to take off my shirt, I wasn't going to take off my shirt, but I noticed that it was like I had a black shirt on, and it was like crunchy. So I had, it was like dried blood all over the front of my shirt and all down my arm. When I took it off, I had like red blood stains all down my arm and all over my chest. I was able to wash it off, but I thought maybe I was cut somewhere, but I wasn't. But I didn't have any blood on my face. So, looking on the windowsill, which is wood, there's a little tiny dent with a little spot of blood on it. So, apparently something happened that caused me to hit my head on the windowsill. And I'm assuming I slid down the wall And I must have laid my head on my arm, and I laid there for a good 20, 30 minutes in my own blood. And it caused all this. And this was 3 weeks ago. This is where I'm at for healing. And then a couple weeks ago, I had an MRI, and MRIs are the worst thing ever. So the CTs came back, didn't show anything. I didn't have any skull fractures. I didn't have any bleeding or anything, internal bleeding, which is good. And then the MRI, they did the MRI. Haven't heard anything back from the MRI, and that was about a week ago now, so we should be good on that. But I did see a neurologist, and he put me on anti-seizure medication because he believes I bit the side of my tongue and I don't remember anything that happened. So he's 100%, he said 99.9% sure I had a seizure, which would make sense because why don't I remember anything? I remember those 2 days, I was extremely anxiety ridden. And the following day, I actually had a doctor's appointment because I knew my anxiety had been higher than normal. And I was going to get my anxiety medicine increased. And I remember that day feeling very anxiety, it being extremely high. I still have that now. The medicine I'm on does take a while to take effect. And the seizure medication that I'm on also, it's a gradual intake. So it takes like a month to get fully on this medication as well. So much so that this medication does make me dizzy, and it can cause tingling feelings. It almost feels like vertigo a little bit. It comes and goes. It can cause a lot of side effects. So I'm wounding up being out of work because of it. But it's something that has to be done because I almost feel like I can't function because of my anxiety. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. I've not slept at all. I'm not even tired. It's not like I'm drinking a ton of coffee or anything. I'm just not tired. But sleep, I'm usually tired. I can take naps during the day. I didn't take a nap today. That's kind of what's going on with me. And it's just, I've not had this experience. I know I've experienced something similar to this throughout my life, but not to this extent. I've never been on anxiety or depression medication throughout my life until this past year. I don't know if all the stuff that happened with some of the work changes and then my surgery and then being put back on overnights and just all this stuff has caused a lot of this stuff. I'm going to start seeing a psychiatrist next week, of course, virtually, because everything going on, it's just kind of how it is. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with everything. So I just want everybody to know that stuff affects people differently. And we have a tendency to treat ourselves harder than most other people do. I know that my job has taken care of me a lot. In my head, all I think about is how I'm letting my job down, instead of thinking about how I need to take care of myself. And that's hard to overcome. And I have some work to do, and I still do. And because I've had a seizure, I have to not drive for 6 months just to make sure I don't have another seizure. I can't use heavy machinery for 6 months. There's certain things I'm restricted on now. It's a lot to grasp when something like that happens. And I do think a lot of that happened because of my anxiety and my depression. Or that had a big part of it, played a big part of it. And, it's important that people listen to their bodies and they get help when things like this happen. I wish I would have been listening to my body when it first started. I didn't know what was happening. I thought originally when I was on overnights, I thought it was just blood pressure. I thought my blood pressure, it is blood pressure. But the stuff I was experiencing on overnights when I thought it was just blood pressure, it was anxiety. It was anxiety causing panic attacks. And that's when they started me on the anxiety medication. It did start to help, but other anxieties started to kick in a little bit later. So it's a hard issue to talk about. Like I said, I still have a lot of work to do, but I was almost forced to take a leave, and it was hard on me to do that. I understand, and I needed to, and it's something that I should have done because I wasn't trying to fix myself the way I should have. And it was something that I needed to open my eyes to, and I needed that to show me what was actually happening. And I wish that would have happened a little bit sooner, or else I wouldn't have probably been at this point right now. Does that make sense? So I hope everyone can take this as a lesson to, listen to your body, listen to your mind, and understand that mental health is very important. And sometimes you gotta, take a step back and reassess what's going on with you. I'm not an expert. I don't, I'm at the beginning stages of trying to figure this out for myself. And usually I'm a happy person. I like talking to people. But, I bottle up a lot of stuff and try to figure out stuff on my own. And that's where I got to stop. I've got to have other people to talk to about things. So, I'm still going to be around. I have so much stuff I got to talk about on here. My next video, I've bought so much makeup. My next video, my haul video, it's going to be crazy, guys. I'm going to tell you. I got to film it pretty soon, but I hope my eye didn't. I keep pointing at this one because it's flipped on here, but hope this didn't offend you too much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I haven't been posting too much. I know I posted an Animal Crossing video. I might do another one. I'm still waiting on my eye to heal a little bit because I think it's a little off-putting and hard to watch. I love you guys. I love talking to you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I've been kind of dealing with this stuff. Just hard to deal with a little bit, but I'm trying to get there. I'm working through it. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for, being there for me. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but the people that I do talk to have been great. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.